Hello, everyone. I'm back today, and I'm here to talk about another John Cena movie. And I say another one because, honestly, if you told me that there's a difference between his movies, I would not believe you. Yeah. Anyways, also, this movie starred Allison Brie from Hannah Montana. She also did other stuff, but she was in that one episode of Hannah Montana when she tried to cut Jackson's hair and Rico's hair. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was definitely in that episode. I think she was the one doing the cutting of the hair. Anyways, so this is a movie, and that is what I will say about it. So at the start of the film, you have Mason Petite or whatever, Petite or I don't know. Anyways, he's played by John Cena, and he's ex-military and current shitty lawyer, and also a dad and a husband. And he feels like he's settling because of he hates being a lawyer. I guess I don't know. Anyways, then you have Claire Wellington, who was played by Allison Brie, not the cheese, the actress, and she is a disgraced journalist who now works for like some weird tabloid thing. She won a Peabody, which apparently is a very prestigious journalism prize. As I looked that up, um, so I can tell you that. But apparently, she plagiarized her Peabody Award winning story. Again, I don't actually know how that works, so I'm just gonna assume that yeah, she basically plagiarized her Peabody, so now she has to work at some tabloid because she had to resign because, again, she cheated or plagiarized or didn't check her sources. I don't know. It was like a little news clip thing. Anyways, so Mason, the guy played by John Cena, who was ex-military and apparently old and out of shape. Have you seen John Cena? That doesn't work. Anyways, um, Mason is sent back to a country where his team was killed because he's basically recruited by someone who also was on his team who owns a private, um, you know, security thing. Because that's what you do when you leave the military, right? See every military movie ever. You just open a private security thing. Unless you're Mason, in which case you become a lawyer. Anyways, he's sent back to the country where his team was killed, and you know it was apparently they were apparently killed by the dictator of this country, and he has to protect Claire, this disgraced journalist, Claire Wellington, played by Allison Brie, and she wants to interview the director or dictator, sorry, for to kind of reputation something deal with her reputation. Or at least that's what it seemed at the beginning. Okay. Oh yeah, and as soon as they arrive, the dictator's like horny and very very horny to the point where he's just like hitting on Allison Brie consistently, or sorry, Claire Wellington consistently, um, and also as soon as they get there, the dictator's nephew decides to launch a coup attempt, which they try to make us believe is a complete coincidence. Of course, anyone who's seen a movie before knows it's not, and the old out of shape John Cena is able to kill a whole bunch of like trained military dudes without a gun, and apparently, again, as he has said, he's old and out of shape. Manages to take them all on and save them. Anyways, so at about 37 minutes in, I realized that the entire thing is set up by or is connected to the people who sent him there, because obviously they didn't just send him there to protect her, Claire. And everyone in this movie has stormtrooper aim. Okay, and what I mean by stormtrooper aim is they cannot hit these damn people. They have these elite, enhanced, like these very military looking weapons with scopes and automatic. I don't know how guns work, but they can't seem to hit them. And like literally, except for like John Cena, and because he seems to have like video game level accuracy. And not me playing a video game, but like other people playing a video game. People who can actually play video games. My video game abilities are limited at best. Oof, yeah, that's not good. But anyways, there's like a scene in this movie where John Cena needs to take out a helicopter, which is like very, very far away, right? He just looks in the scope, breathes a bunch, and shoots them in the headshot. Again, very video game like stuff. Again, not me playing a video game, other people playing video games. Anyways, oh yeah, and by the way, when he's doing this, Claire Wellington is just recording this on her phone, like we're in the middle of a war zone, but I'm just gonna record this on my phone. Anyways, the other thing the other part of this is that there's another scene where they're on a horse, right? And they're trying to escape these military people, right? These people are trying to overthrow the dictator or whatever, right? And they're right behind these people, like John Cena's character, the dictator, and Claire, Mason, Claire, and I don't remember what the dictator's name is. I have it written here somewhere. The notes are very very long, and um, Vengas or whatever his name is. Anyways, they're on horses, right? And they're riding the horses, and then they're right behind them in trucks with their guns, and they can't hit them. They're right there. And then eventually Claire falls off and they kidnap her, but that's for later. Now, speaking of Claire, actually, let's talk a little bit more about Claire. So there's just one thing, okay? I don't normally complain about this with movies. I don't. I'm pretty chill about this. But I don't know if they just put a bunch of stereotypes into one character to create Claire, but they might have. So she starts off as like this hard ass kind of kind of annoying character, right? She's kind of like, I don't care about you. You're just there to like make sure I don't like get robbed in the hotel, right? Then she becomes very horny all of a sudden, and I think the director also became a little horny because there's one scene where they have to escape, right? And Claire, wearing a white dress shirt, has to swim through a river because of course she does, right? And the only part of her that comes out wet is like her shirt. By the way, the other speaking of Claire and realism here, so she has this very thick like eyeliner, I don't even know, makeup thing on her eyes, right? To make them to stand out, right? So it's like that at the start of the movie, right? Now she's in a third world country, war zone. She's running through trees and swimming, and then she takes a shower, which is a whole nother thing. And she sleeps, wakes up. I'm assuming she doesn't have any bags with her, so I'm assuming she doesn't have makeup with her. And yet that makeup on her eyes, that the black makeup, whatever, it just stays there. It doesn't run, nothing. So I don't know, but I feel like that's the product that we should really care about in this movie because I don't know if that's realistic. And then the other part again, like I understand, you makeup actress, whatever, right? But the fact that you don't even like it's so obvious that it just stays there, right? Like at least tone that down so it looks like she's struggling to survive in a third world country while being hunted by a bunch of mercenaries. Like Christ. Anyways, also there's another scene and she's like Claire gets separated from Mason, okay? And there's a bunch of mercenaries chasing her. And they don't find her, right? Because she's being loud, but whatever. And John Cena starts to save her, right? Or Mason, sorry. I'm going to keep switching between John Cena and Mason because my notes are either written as John Cena or Mason. So Mason is fighting off these mercenaries, right? And she's just sitting, crouching kind of there. And one of them has him in like a headlock. And she literally just is holding a stick like this, crouching in the corner, and asks, "Are you okay? Do you need my help?" While he's being headlocked by this guy. And I'm thinking like, okay, come on. Really? Also, the nephew looks like the nephew of Raviola or whatever his name is, the guy from Just Cause 3, the villain. Honestly, the whole country gives me those vibes of Just Cause 3, and there's a lot more complaining about how her makeup doesn't run at all or disappear at all. Oh yeah, also, about 45 minutes into this movie, maybe more, maybe it's closer to an hour in, okay? It's an hour 40-minute movie. We learn, just randomly in a random moment, that this country apparently has the world's most precious metal, and I'm going to quote this movie, okay? Because I think you're going to think I'm paraphrasing me. No. The world's most precious metal, that's a quote, okay? And I'm going to quote again here, all new technologies. They literally say this is the most precious metal and it is in all new technologies. Like, come on. Are we really not trying that hard? That we're literally just like, yeah, this metal is in every new technology. Not even like, okay, let me go into a little bit of detail. No. We just found this metal like 5 weeks ago and it's in all the new technologies. And everyone wants it. And so, yeah, they do try to shove in very early on some message about corporations controlling foreign dictators. They really try to hammer that social message home that dictators aren't bad, I think. At that point, I kind of wrote my notes like, I think the dictators, they forget that the dictator is, like, they're trying to humanize someone who is known to be a terrible autocratic dictator. Although it turns out he isn't actually, funny enough. Also, John Cena's hair is gelled perfectly the entire time, too. I couldn't criticize Claire's makeup without pointing out the fact that John Cena's gelled hair is also perfect. So Claire knows that, she literally, the first thing she notices about John Cena's character, Mason, is that, he isn't wearing his wedding ring, which he kind of excuses as, it's a business thing, whatever, you don't want to get a leverage point if you get captured, whatever, right? Then they have a moment, and he's like, I just separated from her, whatever. It's very raw. The next day in movie time, this Claire person is literally trying to fuck him. I'm not, she literally says, okay, again, I can't make this stuff up. So this is like the day after she learns that he is just recently separated, but is all raw and emotional, right? And they're in the middle of a war-torn third world country trying to survive. And she's like, why you shouldn't have to sleep here. He's like, I've slept in worse, okay? And then she's like, you know what? Let's play a game to see who gets the bed, okay? And then she shows him her tattoos, okay? And he has to guess what they are. One tattoo is on her thigh. One tattoo is on her upper chest. And one tattoo is on her neck. And then apparently she gets to a point where she's sitting and has her legs wrapped around his waist. Sitting on like a table or something. And has her arms wrapped around his head. Again, she knows his situation. But anyway, it's so weird. Like, why? But then John Cena, it basically says, no, I can't. And she's like, oh, you still love the person you are feeling very raw about, and also just separate, who you just told me, like, you aren't even divorced, like, you just, like, separated. Anyways, Mason doesn't give in, thankfully, for that. Also, Mason on the 1 hour and 4 minute mark to realize that the plan, okay, let's actually talk about the plan, okay? So you know what the real plan was here? Apparently the plan was that they were going to give him a gun. They weren't going to tell him about this, by the way. So they're going to have him go to this country under the guise of protecting this reporter. Then randomly when they got to his beach house or forest house or whatever, I don't know, country house or whatever they called it, they were going to give him a gun, put him in the bedroom of this dictator and say, yeah, just kill him now and then we can move on. Like, if you want the guy to kill them, you should probably, I don't know, tell him that's the plan. Like, this feels like a very poorly thought out plan, although a lot of the plans in this movie are. Also, apparently this dictator is like just really fucking smart because he just knows everything that's going on. Now, there are a few cool political moments in this, right? So, one of them is Claire describes it as a corporate-backed coup of a sovereign nation. They get very into the weeds there. And then the guy's like, stability, the mercenary dude is like, stability and peace to a complicated situation. That's what we're doing. We're bringing stability and peace. You hear it all the time, right? When a country like, the U.S. or whatever goes into a third world country and like, we're bringing stability and peace to a complicated situation by overthrowing the government and replacing them with a worse government, which we will then overthrow later. Hence the entire Middle East crisis for the years, right? Anyways. And even longer than that. Anyways, And then there's like these just weird dumb moments, right? Where like, the dictator is like singing out loud, like, "Oh, you heard that? I'm surprised you heard that." Like, goddamn. Also, John Cena says "dude" way too much in this. He is supposed to be an old grown man in that. He is actually an old grown man, and he's using the word "dude." For sure. And then this entitled nephew dude is taking selfies on the throne. Oh yeah, and then they start. Then there's like the big third act, right? And the dictator's just chilling there, cheering for Mason, and Claire is filming it all on her iPhone because journalism. I guess this is journalism, really. And then there's a whole bunch of other things. Oh, and then also they just decide 9 minutes before the end of the movie, yeah, we're just gonna make a democracy now. I did a coming to Jesus moment here, and I'm just going to give up my power. Oh yeah, also all of the citizens love him. I don't know. So this cruel, evil dictator, right? So there's a point where the people are kind of, I guess, like, so these mercenaries, like Mason goes to confront the mercenaries, right? They're all pointing their guns at John Cena. John Cena's pointing his gun at them. They have Claire. And all of a sudden, the entire city, I guess, just loves this dude and goes and rushes these mercenaries who are supposed to be soulless, and that works, and they all get away. Because the power of love for your dictator really just overpowers all other things like guns. The love for your autocratic dictator who funds the opposition party just so he can crush them to make himself look powerful is beloved by his citizens, and that's enough to push away the evil mercenaries. With guns, by the way. Big guns, as they like to say in this movie, because they use the word big guns a lot in this movie. Also, just randomly, Claire says "embrace the suck" to him. I don't know. That sounded very suspect. And yeah, so the democracy thing happens, and and the dictator just randomly gives him 5,500,000, gives him money at the end of the movie because he saved his life, I guess, and his bank account shows he has 5,500,365.13 in his bank account. Also, all he had to do to find the total balance of his bank account was just put his card in the ATM machine. So if you see I guess if it's John Cena, you're not worried about like someone stealing his card from him. But there's no password required or anything, so that's pretty nice. And also John Cena running away to a foreign country makes his wife love him more and fixes all his marital problems. So I guess this movie also is a little bit of marriage counseling. If you have any marital problems, just go run to a foreign country, save a dictator who killed all your friends, and then your wife will love you again. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of problems with this movie, but I was able to watch it, so that's pretty positive, right? Like, I got through it all. It's like, again, with John Cena, if you expect high quality filmmaking, you're not going to get it. But if you expect something dumb, ridiculous, implausible, with some weird, deeply flawed political message, although very cool looking dictators, I will say, they really do bring a different perspective of, like, I don't know, making them look human. I don't know. I don't know if that's really what I would have done, especially in this day and age, trying to make dictators look human. But whatever, Autocracies are really just democracies in sheep's clothing. I don't even know if that works. Anyways, I'll give it a 5 out of 10 or whatever the hell. I don't know. Look, if you want to watch something dumb with a lot of shooting that you don't want to have to think too hard about, this is probably the movie for you. If you want to watch something that has any level of logic, reasoning, or acting. Oh yeah, John Cena can't act. I don't know. He's just really good at being himself, I guess. Mainly because he's some military dude in every single movie. Also, John Cena comments on other people being on steroids. I don't know if he's ever looked in the mirror. Anyways, I'm gonna not continue to trash on John Cena, but yeah, this movie is dumb fun. You know, it doesn't feel like an hour 40 minutes. It's called Freelance. I don't know if I actually told anyone the name of the movie, so you know. Anyways, that's it. I'm done. I have nothing else to say about this thing. I had so many notes. If there's any, I don't think there's anything else that's prevalent. There's a lot of like literally half my notes. She's just talking about how she does all of these different things. Claire does all these different things, and suddenly, and her makeup is still fine because it's like very prominent. It bugged me. I don't know why it bugged me. Normally that kind of stuff doesn't bug me, but this time it did. So, anyways, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, follow us on social media, and all that other stuff. And you can follow me at KhalilJamal03 on Instagram. I need to go do other stuff now, so bye.